Hidden among the moss-draped cypresses of Washington County, North Carolina, lies a place where beauty masks a haunting past. Today we are going to visit Somerset Place Plantation. Right here we have a key of the areas that we'll be visiting, from the overseer's house to the kitchen to the jailhouse to the church. Join us as we take a walk through one of the largest plantations ever in the American South. At its peak was over 180,000 acres. Today this historic site sits on about 8 acres. The Somerset Place Plantation first came into existence in 1785. Let's see what this says. Freedom Seekers of Somerset Place. This is very interesting, and we'll circle back. Alright, so the first thing we're checking out is the overseer's house. In good condition, as you can see. Same structure from 1785. Obviously, it has been renovated over the years. And this is located at the front of the property. As the name suggests, the overseer will be responsible for the day-to-day operations on the plantation. Something like a director of operations of sorts. So this is the overseer's house. Fun fact, most overseers were lower class Caucasians or Europeans that came to the Americas to make a better life and didn't have the resources yet to own their own plantations, so they of sorts managed plantations. So this would have been his residence, and next to the owner's mansion it would have been the nicest residence on the property. Still pristine. As I said, it was renovated in 2009, and some renovation is still going on as we speak. Per our map, this would be the jailhouse. This right in front of us, right in front of the overseer's house. Let's go back to this key. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, as I said, you have the overseer's house. Then you have the stocks in front of us. Then you have the jailhouse / meat house. The lake chapel. Outdoor hearth. Cistern. Slave community kitchens. Plantation hospital. Woodhouse. Storage building. Collins family home further to the back, kitchen laundry, kitchen rations, smokehouse, salting house, bathhouse, dairy, colony house, men's restroom, women's restroom, Louis and Judy's home, and some small slave houses. We stopped here, but we went to look at the overseer's house. So, Freedom Seekers of Somerset Place. Over the 80 years of legal slavery at Somerset Place, that's between 1785 to 1865, enslaved people resisted their enslavers. Through defiance to their condition of human bondage, at least 14 enslaved laborers attempted to escape to freedom. This is the story of Rebecca Hathaway Drew. In December of 1845, 19-year-old Rebecca Hathaway, later Rebecca Hathaway Drew, fled from Somerset Place in an attempt to reunite with her mother, Tamar, in Edenton. Mother and daughter had previously lived together at the Collins family's Rope Walk property, but the Collinses had separated them. Punishment. Hathaway was captured by overseer Joseph Newberry before she reached Edenton. Newberry punished her by locking her in the stocks overnight. Exposed to the severe cold, Hathaway's feet became frostbitten, and the gangrene soon set in. At the plantation hospital, Dr. Hardy Hardison amputated both of Hathaway's feet. The operation was dangerous and performed without anesthesia. Hathaway survived. In addition to changing her life forever, Hathaway's amputation changed her status on the plantation. In 1846, Josiah Collins III was exempted from paying taxes on Hathaway due to her having lost both legs by amputation. By law, Hathaway was still considered Collins' property, but she was judged as having no financial value. Rebecca's mother, Tamar, was moved to Somerset Place by 1849, and mother and daughter were reunited. Rebecca Drew had children with Virgil Drew, and they married in December 1855. They ultimately had 5 children before Virgil's untimely death in 1857. At the close of the Civil War, Rebecca Hathaway Drew, her mother, and her children were emancipated by law. They returned to Edenton as free persons. The census of 1880 recorded that Drew, then aged 55, worked as a domestic servant. The census also described her as having both legs off below the knee. She was an active and prominent member of the African American community in Edenton, where she lived until her death in 1901. These are the stocks that Miss Hathaway would have been put in. As I said, the stocks are right between the jailhouse and the overseer's house. Look at the chapel now, the jailhouse, and the stocks. Here we have it. Everything right in front of us. And as I said, we're gonna do our best to cover everything that's on this little map. So walk with me. I've already seen the overseer's home, seen where the stocks were, seen where the jailhouse that's right behind, and then they have the Lake Chapel after the jailhouse. This is a beautiful Lake Chapel. Yeah, this is the exact ground where it was located. This is amazing. Further down, we'll have the outdoor hearth, the cistern, and the slave community kitchen. I really want to go see what that looks like. And further up ahead, you have the hospital. There is a wood house and also a storage building. And to the left of where we are looking, to the left of your screen, well, out of screen right now, is that Collins family home. But yeah, let's go look at the slave community kitchen. Wow. This is, oh my goodness, this is intriguing, man. Yeah, this place is giving me goosebumps, man. Feeding the enslaved community. Outdoor, the cistern, and the slave community kitchen. This is where they were. Wow. Literally speechless. See that big pot? Oh man, I wonder how many people that pot could feed. Wow. And this place has so many eerie stories. People that work here still say they hear screams. From the 4 little boys that drowned in the Lake Phelps, it was 2 of the Collins sons and 2 enslaved boys. Here we have the big, beautiful hospital, the plantation hospital. This is old Sucky Davis's home. I wonder if we can take a look inside. Straight across we have the Collins home. Oh yeah, there's a window open. Hello, Sucky. Anybody home? Oh, this is beautiful. So this was what old Sucky's home looked like. Wow. This is immaculate. Let's go around the back. Okay, so this looks pots. The next view from the other window and see what's going on. Got some more pots. A lot of cooking happening on this plantation, huh? Those pots are, you imagine the steel work. We're talking about 200 years ago, more than 200 years ago. 200 years ago, folks. And now this stretch would be where all the quote-unquote little slave houses were. Right here we go. This entire area. And if you like the content, hey, hit the like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. I got another part to this video where I actually have footage of the water and footage of the Collins home. That's gonna be part 2. It's gonna be beautiful, but hit that like button, man. More pots. Just type Somerset in the comments and make sure to drop the next video. What do we have here? Louis and Judy's home. What do we have here? Louis and Judy's home. Small house is a replica. Children feel hands. And this home, it was Louis and Judy and 7 other family members. This is wow. Yes, this is the highlight right here. A replica of what an old plantation slave home looked like in the late 18th century. Oh, is that a shoe? Yep, there's a pair of shoes from the 18th century with an old shoe sole. Ooh, tight. I used to see those at the shoemaker store in Jamaica. That's crazy. Look at this. Can we go upstairs? So we're not supposed to. Can we see anything up there? Hey, Louis, oh, Judy, oh. I'm just visiting. Yeah, the pots again. Man. Yeah. This is the highlight of my trip right here. You can just imagine an entire family of 7 after the day's done. Oh, man. And what do we have here? That's a pea pot. For all you Gen Xers that don't know, yep, you got up, you peed in that, and then when you morning, you pour it outside. That's a pea pot. Yeah, we had those in Jamaica too growing up in the 80s, man. Shh, whatever. Shh. Shut your face. Yep. This is it. And further down there, that's where the water is. I saw a path earlier. I'm saying to myself, that was where all the people that tried to escape would arrive, you know? We're gonna check it out in the next video. Thank you, Louis and Judy, for having me, man. This was cool. Yeah, further down there, that's where the water is. We're gonna explore some more. Yeah. Oh, man. Fun fact, in 1969, this is when this place was designated as a state historic site. And in 1986, descendants of the African American slaves from Somerset Place planned a gathering known as Somerset Homecoming. This event even inspired a book that was written by the former manager Dorothy Sproul Redford. But here we go. Let's see what this track has to offer. Another fun fact before we go, Josiah Collins, the original owner, was a wealthy English-born merchant, and so he named this place of Somerset in England. Over time, the plantation grew to encompass, as I stated earlier, over 100,000 acres, 120 to be precise, and it had close to 1,000 enslaved African and African American people during its operation. Some numbers put it at about 800, some numbers put it at 900. Josiah Collins III would eventually take over in the mid-1800s. He actually managed the plantation during its most prosperous and during its most brutal years.